Hey fellow mutants, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to talk about the second episode of the Netflix Avatar the Last Airbender series being called Warrior. In this episode, essentially Aang wants to get help to try find how he can be the Avatar and what that all means exactly, right? So he visits Kyoshi Island, which is this island that dedicates himself to to Avatar Kyoshi, which I think is two avatars before him, I want to say. So they go to the island. They get in the fight with the Kyoshi warriors. Then they said, "Hey, yeah, we're the Avatar. We could use some help. I need to use some help. Find my place in the world. I know I don't exactly belong here, and I'm beginning to feel like that quite a bit as of late. But if you permit me, I would like to learn find more stuff about Kyoshi to see if anything that she might have said and knows or whatever, if she gave any hints for future avatars to find their way." And the head lady, who is Suki's mother, said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. You got 48 hours. 48 hours staying here. After the 48th hour, get the fuck out." Exactly. I thought that was an interesting move, per se. And I say interesting because in the show, we didn't get introduced to Suki's mother. So that's an interesting move. Aang exactly goes into the Avatar state, and we get to see Aang talking to Kyoshi, and she was saying that, yeah, you want things the easy route, and you don't want to hurt people, but in this moment in times of wars, you might not have a choice. And essentially, when the two avatars are talking, Sokka and Suki interact with each other quite a bit. Suki kind of seems like a modern day teenager in terms of hey, there's a cute boy. I'm going to look at him awkwardly, come out of nowhere awkwardly, right? And there was even this one part where they even sparred a little bit, and the bit where the actor who plays Sokka said, "Don't worry, guys. There are moments in Sokka that that's still there. We still honor the character." Can kind of guess Sokka's trying to have a metaphorical dick measuring contest with Suki about how much skills he has, and he gets butt handed to him by Suki, and so he just lives guess his ego got hurt. So he awkwardly watches her training the other Kyoshi warriors, and so she dismisses the classes, signals Sokka to come, and they train together. And while this is happening, Zuko goes to General Shao and tries to not let him know that I'm trying to find the Avatar. General Shao somehow finds out that Zuko, as he somehow is from one of his crewmates, finds out that Zuko's found the Avatar and is locating him, essentially leading them to Kyoshi Island, right? Where General Shao, the Fire Nations that General Shao took over, and the Kyoshi warriors in the fight. And while this is happening, Kyoshi says, essentially we see Kyoshi telling Aang, hope is kind of a dangerous thing. both sides will fight harder because of that. They know the Avatars around, and you're gonna put people in danger, just like you put your friends in danger. And Aang said, "What?" And so essentially, long story short, Kyoshi says, "Let me demonstrate to you what an Avatar who has mastered all four elements can do." So, see, essentially, like, takes over Aang's body and kicks the Fire Nation's butts, having them retreat in fear. Then, and then she lets go for control over Aang. Which is a bit different than how, like, the anime series went. Because, like, the anime series had, like, Aang go on trial because Kyoshi murdered someone out of cold blood. And she was, like, if memory serves me right, she was, like, only defending herself. And so it happens to the guy that she got accused of murdering in cold blood. Like, the area where he was, like, standing on just collapsed, so it wasn't really Kyoshi's fault. And so it's like how. So essentially, Aang got on trial in the cartoon version, and while Aang was on trial, Kyoshi took over his body and told her side of the story. That's how the two things differ in terms of the cartoon and live action. Like, I honestly kind of prefer the animated take on how they did the whole Kyoshi thing, but that's just me. Even though I do like the actress. The actress I've seen in that CW Kung Fu show, and even though that Kung Fu show, like, I watched it, it wasn't exactly the best thing I've seen, but the girl who played Avatar Kyoshi was always one of my favorite bits of that Kung Fu show. So it's cool to see her as, like, in this show too. Anyways, so Sokka gets kissed by Kyoshi, which he gets handed one of the scrolls, the Kyoshi warrior scrolls, and essentially they go on Appa. And Sokka at first being on a paint, like, saying, "We gotta go back to Water Nation," Water Tribe. He says, "Yeah, that'll be fine. I can't let you guys hog all the fun." And General Shao secretly, like, writes a letter to Fire Lord Ozai saying, "I know what this will sound. I know how this will sound, but I can vouch for it because I've seen it with my own eyes. The Avatar has returned." And then we see, like, Fire Lord's hands. I guess he, like, him ringing it. And we see the Fire Lord saying, "The Avatar has returned." In the end of the episode. And I do have to say, like, and I understand, like, if you guys don't like it, but I kind of do like how, like, they showed Ozai's face in this episode too. And I know, like, as a person who also seen the other 6 episodes, we do see him a bit in the series. I do appreciate was it that we in the first season, like, in second, like, we get to see Ozai's face sooner than in the anime series, because in the anime series we didn't get to see Ozai's face until, like, I think the flashback and how Zuko got his scar, and I think that was, like, either in the first episode, the first season or the second season. I want to say the first season, if memory serves me right. So I dig that we get actually see Ozai's face, and present day too, so that's cool. So, like, the episode, I didn't mind. Like, sure, it was, like, cool to see Kyoshi, like, being a badass and all, but like I don't know. This episode like was like, guess this is my second time watching it, right? So I'm like trying to like make sure I feel like how I feel like is legit and not like, how do I put this? I'm watching it the second time around to make sure that my feelings did not change on the matter, if that makes sense. And I enjoy it. It's a pretty good like I'm not really exactly mad by the episode. I think like if I had criticized it, like anything, it'd be kind of like the same thing as like last video. Shugo didn't have his eyebrow because he got the burn. Suki, I'm not really like. I don't like. Suki in the cartoon was definitely smoother, and I wish that they kept that part of her around. Those part that where she was smooth. Cause she like kept seeming like a teenager who was in love, pretty much. Like I get that she's a teenager, but like modern teenager, but like Suki in the cartoon was definitely smoother than the Suki that we got in this episode. So I think that might be my complaint, like criticisms. Like I feel like the Suki in the animated show was definitely more smooth, and I think they could have like. They should have done that side of her besides, oh my god, you're a cute boy, oh my god! Anywho, what do you fellow musers think about this episode? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. If you got one other, I'll talk to you fellow musers later. Later, taters.